This podcast is part of the Soul Zone Network. Hello, hello, it's Molly
and Sara
from thebutterflyconnection.com.
We're all connected and we're not alone. What if you could rebirth your soul, spark movement in your life, and reconnect with your authentic self?
Join us each week as we connect with Source to answer the burning questions that lie deep within us and gain clarity and wisdom to soar to our greatest potential. Welcome to the Butterfly Connection,
where the kinetics of your soul will give you wings to fly.
This is BK42. The kinetics of our soul will give us wings to fly. Hello, hello, it's Molly and Sara.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us. It is just such a pleasure to be able to talk to you about this series and living fearlessly. And the last one we published was called Acceptance. And the amazing thing about this podcast series of Living Fearlessly, it's given Sara and I this beautiful opportunity to really reflect on what living fearlessly looks and feels to us. And in doing so, we are ready to really live fearlessly in what we want to do in our solo journeys and what we have been feeling compelled to do with our own individual spiritual work. So we want to spend some time talking to you today about where we plan on going with our own individual spiritual practices. And we hope that you will continue to support us in our individual endeavors.
Yes, it's definitely been an amazing journey. I think back on this year and I'm just reflecting on all of the things that I was fearful of within myself. And I think that had a lot to do with my own growth and realizing that I can do the things that I have always dreamed about doing. And I just don't think that I would have come to the conclusion that I could do that without this podcast, without going through this process with you, Molly, and without proving to myself that I can find my inner strength and find my soul's calling and believe that I could do it. It's just been such a growth process for me this entire year, this entire season. And I'm just so grateful and blessed to have been able to do this and gone through this process with you.
Thank you, Sara. And I completely agree with what you're saying. You know, when Sara and I first started this podcast, our hope was to spark movement within anyone who wanted to listen to our podcast and anyone who was looking for spiritual growth and forward movement. And I really feel like we were unaware at that time, at the beginning of the season, of how much movement and forward soul growth would happen for us with what we were saying in the podcast. It has been a true blessing the entire time. Every single podcast we've done has just been a true blessing. And the beautiful thing about this is the fact that in doing this Living Fearlessly series, we have really come to the conclusion that the season itself for the Butterfly Connection really feels final. We feel like what we have talked about and everything that we've discussed thus far feels very much like it has come to the end of the chapter, the end of the book. And we both feel, in speaking with one another, that it's really time for us to take a break from this podcast so that we can adventure off and do the things that our hearts have been calling us to do. And we want to just thank all of you that have come out and supported us in this season, this first season of our podcast, and all of the kind words and words of encouragement that you have given us along the way. It has just been an amazing gift for us to realize how positively we can affect the universe, which was our intention the entire time.
Yes, I so much agree with all of that. I think that's really what the definition of living fearlessly is. It's going through the seasons of life, it's accepting yourself, and it's being able to find your inner strength so that you can have the motivation and the courage to move forward and follow your dreams. And I think that's why the Living Fearlessly series that we are completing here is so important, because it puts an exclamation point on everything, because you can't get through your journey just by skipping to the end. You have to be able to go through the seasons of your life and be able to find meaning and purpose and understanding of why we go through what we go through. And with regards to that, the soul reflection challenge that we created for this podcast is really about that. It's about evaluating your life and reflecting inward and going down in deep depths of your soul to find out what it is you need to work on, what it is you need to let go of, what it is you need to cry out, and then be able to say, wow, that experience allowed me to get to this next step. And it's just such a beautiful gift to have that, to know that it's out there for any of you that might feel called to experience this as well. But most of all, it's just done so much to help me in my own growth and in finally saying, yes, I am going to follow my soul's call.
Beautiful. The other amazing gift that came from this podcast was a very large realization for Sara and I. And that realization for us was the fact that you can actually end a season on a positive note. Sara and I have had so many experiences in our lives where most things that have come to an end have come to an end in an ugly way. It's either come to an end in a way where relationships end up breaking, or people end up stop talking to one another. People stop communicating with one another. It ends on a very negative experience that most people are unable to really move forward in. And this experience looks nothing like that. This experience of bringing this season to an end is done with love and blessings. And Sara and I were able to sit down and really talk about where we want to go with our spiritual businesses. And we knew that in order to spend the time to focus on that we had to take the focus off of this podcast. And we both were almost afraid to have the conversation, because our experience with being honest with feeling like something needed to come to an end generally did not look very pretty. And for us to be able to both agree and say, this gave us so many blessings. There was so much love that was put into this. And, we're still best friends. There's nothing ugly about it. It's all this just beautiful. It's just a beautiful butterfly. It's just the beautiful butterfly coming out of its cocoon and flying in its own individual direction. And that has been the biggest blessing for me, to actually be able to see that things have their seasons and can come to an end and can be let go in a beautiful way with just support and love and kindness.
It's so amazing. It's such a beautiful way to describe that. I just came to a realization also that part of the purpose of our podcast is to spark movement and to find the kinetics in our soul to give us wings to fly. But, I think that kinetics goes even further than that. Kinetics is the connections that we have with the people who are there to support us. Kinetics is what we give of ourselves to other people, and it's what people give to us that allow us to feel safe enough to take a risk, to do something out of the comfort zone, so that we can live fearlessly and follow our dreams. And so that is a great gift that I was given in this, is the kinetics of our relationship, Molly, that I always knew that no matter how scared I was, that there was never anything to fear because of the support that you gave me. And it also taught me to give myself the support to myself. And you are absolutely right, Molly, that there have been so many things in my life as well that have just ended badly, that have not been, blessed and kind of let go of in a positive way with a positive mindset. That's never quite been a thing. I feel like some of the biggest movement in my life has happened through crashing down, so to speak, of everything. And that's not to say that things in life aren't still going to happen that way, but if you could find a way to look at the seasons of your life, just like we are here today, as something that you can bless and thank for everything it taught you, and then allow that to lift up off of you and float away like a butterfly, I think the growth that we all yearn for can happen even faster and can happen in a way where we cannot feel sadness and regret and disappointment, because everything that we go through is for us. And I've said that before. And this podcast is a testament to that.
Absolutely. So, in concluding with that, I think Sara wrapped that up really well. I want to shift gears a little bit so we can excitedly talk to you guys about some things that we're getting ready to do and that we've been wanting to do, and we're just now diving into it. So, I'm going to let you start, Sara.
Well, I've always loved writing. I've always felt like writing has been the outlet for me that allows me to connect deepest to my soul. I have a blog. I've actually had a blog for over a year now. And I started out the blog as a way to connect to spirit, to give messages to the universe that I felt, or that spirit felt needed to be said. But it's changing gears. Instead of it just being spirit messages, it's going to be my life story, my celebrations, my struggles. It's going to be about my spiritual awakening and how all of it has helped me to grow and become the person I am today. It's called Waking Up Sara Marie, and you can find that blog on wakingupsaramarie.com. And I hope to post much more often on there, and I hope that you will find it and read it and give me feedback and find something out of it good for your soul. I am also going to be offering Soul Builder sessions. And in these sessions, I have this deep desire to want to inspire you and empower you and support you along your journey so that you can reach a point of feeling ready to grow and live from your heart center to be your true and authentic self. I just feel like in Soul Builder sessions, we could work through some blockages and some things that, you're ready to let go of. And I just want to be there to empower you and support you in your soul journey, to help you dig deep to find what you need to build within your soul to reach your highest potential. So I'll be offering that. That will be available in the services section of my website.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Sara. And also, I just want to mention that you can go to thebutterflyconnection.com, and there is going to be a separate link for Sara's website and for mine if you just want to go directly through the Butterfly Connection. Our plan is to continue to post in the Butterfly Connection website of anything that we are doing individually. And also, if down the road we end up offering anything that Sara and I want to offer together, we're also going to be doing a lot of announcing and whatnot through the website. So butterflyconnection.com is still going to be very much alive, and you'll get to see exactly what we're both doing on there. So for me, I'm really excited to announce my solo podcast, which will be launching soon, and it will be called Soul Fashions. I mentioned Soul Fashions in an older podcast that we did, and this was something that really came to me one day when I was being really raw and honest about where I was at in life, and Soul Fashions came to my brain. It's literally confessions of the soul. I'm going to be very open and honest about my upbringing, about giving birth to my twin girls 3 months early and what that looked like, how it was like to raise medical babies and to have to really like accept not having your typical pregnancy that most people have. The podcast is going to be really just me giving lots of soul fashions about what I've had to go through in my life to get to where I am today. And I'm going to be sharing all of the tools and things that I have utilized throughout my entire life to be able to really grow spiritually. And my hope with this podcast is that it will blossom into also interviewing other people about their soul fashions and their soul movement. I just think that the more we can talk openly about our life experiences, the more we're able to support others and letting them know that they are not alone on their journey. So keep an eye out for that coming up, probably within the next couple of weeks. And also, I've talked to you about this if you've listened to past podcasts about the importance of music in my life and the importance of soul movement. So I will be offering soul movement coaching for anyone who is feeling like they are ready to move forward. For anyone who feels like they're at a place in their life where the things that have happened to them that are holding them back, they are ready to do the work to let go of those things. Because a lot of times when we go through especially sad and traumatic experiences in our lives, we have a tendency to carry those with us as we continue to move through life. And they can really affect life choices and our life decisions. So if you are at a place in your life where you are ready to start letting that go so you can live the life of joy and feeling very authentically connected with yourself, I will be offering soul movement coaching, which you can find on my website, tuneinwithmolly.com. And I also will be writing meditations. I just released an album of electronic music, which we can post the link. It's very like chill, upbeat music. So I'm really excited about that. And as my teaching continues to evolve in my vocal coaching, I am incorporating more of the soul movement and soul connection in the way that I'm teaching singing. If we learn how to connect our voices in an authentic way, it can very much build our self-confidence and allow us to use our singing voices and our speaking voices to the best way that we can. So there's quite a few things going on. I hope that you will check out tuneinwithmolly.com. And like I said before, you can go to thebutterflyconnection.com and click on things that Sara and I are doing on there as well. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us on this journey, as we hope that you have gained just as much growth as we have. We hope that you will check out our solo endeavors, which the links will be in our podcast notes, and you can find them on thebutterflyconnection.com. Also, please follow Sara and I on our Instagram accounts. Mine is Tune In with Molly.
Mine is Waking Up Sara Marie.
And we also have individual Facebook groups, which mine is also Tune In with Molly.
Yes, and I have a group called Dragon Warriors Conquering the Fear and Anxiety from Within.
Yes. So we would love for you to hop on and check out our individual groups so that you can see the different things that we will be doing.
And I just want to add that this is absolutely not a goodbye. This is a see you later, as Molly and I really truly believe that there could be another season at some point in time. But most of all, we're just so grateful that you've taken the time out of your day to listen to us from week to week and month to month. And we wish you nothing but the biggest blessings and love and light.
Yes. Much love and light to you. Thank you for listening to The Butterfly Connection with Molly Ray and Sara Courtney.
Look for Soul Reflections Academy on our website, thebutterflyconnection.com, and sign up for our free Soul Reflection Challenge.
We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Google Play and give us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And join us next week for another soul-connecting conversation.